Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Tactics Rebirth. Um, so here we are at Orbon Monastery at the beginning of Act 2, and that means that we are now at the end of the period when we're going to do the character poll. So the results are in, and it's been decided that we'll be using Agrius as our special character. So no Mustadio and TG Sid. Somebody asked about TG Sid. I wasn't really planning on using TG Sid under any circumstances, but there is a chance that I will use Cloud, and the reason is that Cloud was heavily rebalanced, heavily buffed in this mod, and I haven't seen what the results of that rebalance were. And I would like to see myself just how Cloud turned out. It would be, be interesting if he was actually a viable character. Apparently, he's in the top 3 characters in the game, along with Worker 8 and TG Sid, who's still the most powerful character in the game. Okay, so yeah, that's the special character thing, and then following that, we have Rad will be a Geomancer, Lavian will be a Dancer, and Alicia will be a Summoner. I believe that's correct. Yes. So, just wanted to briefly take a look at Agrius. So, Knight of the local knights of the Akasha royal family. Akasha royal family. So, like Agrius, Alicia and Lavian are both members of the same order of knights, these royal knights. So they are not a part of the Hokuten Knights or the Nanten. That's kind of their entire backstory. That's all we know about them, that's all we ever will know about them. I know some people have kind of written them into fan fiction, which I find pretty funny, but, they're just sort of these generic characters. But I guess people kind of want to fill in the blanks and imagine what these characters might have been like, given that, I suppose some people play, even in the vanilla game, for the entire game with them, even though they were actually quite terrible. And now they're very good. They're equal, a special character, such as Agrius herself. Then Rad, I assume, was one of Gafgarian's mercenaries, along with Ramza. And then we have Gafgarian, and we have Agrius. And Gafgarian has some good items. We are going to pillage those items from him, but not quite yet, because we need him to tank for us in this upcoming mission. And then aside from that, I said, I think online maybe? It was on the forums, that I might just use archers in this upcoming mission, and then get these two to tank for us. But, I'm thinking that I will... first of all, I'm not going to use Alicia, Lavian, and Rad. I don't really need to level them up at all in this mission, because I'm going to be doing some grinding off camera to get them up to maybe... I'll probably get all of them up to jobs that we had picked for them, except for Lavian, because Dancer is very high up on the job tree. And I should mention in passing that the Tactics Rebirth, or the Nexus Studios website, actually just went down. They didn't renew their domain name, and it has expired. And I mean, first of all, it's sad to see their project die like that. I saw that at least one of the people who was contributing to the blog on their project page was a member of the United States military, and he was deployed. He was, you know, he was deployed out in the field and wasn't able to regularly contribute to whatever they were doing. I know they had some kind of rebalance of Warhammer they were trying to do following their completion of Rebirth. So, at least that's the impression I got from the blog. There may be some details which I got incorrect there, but I can see why their page might have gone down. It's kind of sad to see, and it is a problem because I was relying on that page as a source of information, both for everybody else and for myself. So I'm going to try to see if it's possible to find those websites on the Wayback Machine, and you know, if worst comes to worst, I might make a web page that just has the data, the character data, or use maybe spoiler tags or something on the Something Awful forums. I'm a little bit thrown off by this whole thing, because I really did rely on that page as a source of information. I was referring to it constantly. But anyhow, we'll figure all that out. So the first thing I want to do here is I'm going to change Ramza back into a priest. I know I said I would use him as an archer, but I would like him to continue to gain job points in the priest job, and that way we can get him up to level 4 where he needs to be. What we have to do after that is a little bit of a mystery to me because, as I said, the webpage is down, so I'm going to have to find that information of just how many job levels he needs and everything again. And then we will be using Redford and Judy, Ramza, and then maybe these two, and maybe Norn. We'll see how many characters we can deploy in this next mission. Obviously can't do any shopping here at Bourbon Monastery, and I don't think there's anything else at the moment. So, save, and we'll be on our way. Go. This mission, I don't know if I would say, it's not terribly difficult, but it can be a little bit annoying. I find that it kind of comes down to being aggressive and making sure that you're taking out the enemy threats before they can really get momentum against you. But, you know, Gafgarian and Agrius are both in your party this mission, and they're both quite strong, so it really does tilt the odds in your favor, even though the terrain doesn't favor you at all. So, this is, I believe his name is Mormav, and he's not really introduced in any depth until quite a bit later in this chapter, but he is a very important character in the game. So he says that he could make these mercenaries into heretics, and that implies that he has something to do with the church. I haven't heard anything about them until this point. Not exactly a man of God, is he? I love that animation. I wonder how much time was spent to make that. It's like, oh man, Gafgarian. He's you know, you can just see from that, like, oh, he's panicking, and Gafgarian is a major badass. Yeah, so in the last mission, Ramza kind of twisted Gafgarian's arm to get him to go along with Agrius and try to rescue the princess. And I think we're going to see that that's a recurring pattern between Ramza and Gafgarian. That, wow, lucky me. Very lucky. That Ramza kind of throws a wrench in his plans. Gafgarian's plans. Because of his stubbornness. How about that? Stopping an arrow with your bow. Alright. So as you can see, the enemy has quite high speed in this mission. And they're very, very offensively oriented. You know, 2 wizards, and then like a mix of archers and thieves, when the thieves also have bows. So it's just like, they're very, very heavily weighted towards offense. And that means that they're kind of glass cannons, and if you can kind of break their momentum, they will be in a lot of trouble. So let's do this. Yes, excellent. So okay. I think I can't act faster than those both two, so no sense in trying to paralyze those wizards. So the odds are pretty good. Alright, I wonder... take out that threat. Archers, of course, get a bonus to their jump. Angle. There's no way I could have hit him, because if I had moved back 1 square, then the limit of my attack range would be right there. So this is the character that is least likely to be hit by Paralyze. So I'm going to kill him. He's also the elite in this mission. Not much of an elite, but his crossbow is very lethal. We were just really lucky that we didn't have a character killed by it. So here's Slowpoke Ramza finally doing something. Priests have some good things going for them, but I'm not entirely convinced that they're really that solid. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm gonna cast Shell on us. How is that Go. Okay, good. A shell. So, presumably that did some damage reduction for Agrius. So yeah, the automatic utility skill for priests is magic defense up, which is it can be very useful. It can be very useful. And we're gonna have to think long term about what kind of utility skill we want to give to Ramza as a bard. Magic defense up would be one option. I believe. No. Up here. Option. This also seems like a flop. Oh, that's good. Let's do that. Okay, so we can start to use the terrain to our advantage now. Got some height going for us. Quite tall, 14.5 height. I use charge +3. I guess something that's struck me, you know, with the end of the Rebirth site, and also, you know, the Japanese script of the game having been no longer on the internet, and in fact, like, there is no dumped version of the script of this game in Japanese available online, to my knowledge, anymore. Like, the only version of the script that is still available is, well, I mean, not even available, but it's still existing, is the version of the script that is in the game on the disc, ISO, and the version of the script that presumably exists somewhere at the Square Enix offices in Tokyo, in Shinjuku. So, yeah, so I mean, that script is gone from the internet, and the website for this patch is gone, and the information database that existed for this patch is gone. And it just makes me think a lot about how, I mean, data storage, or the permanence of kind of like these cultural artifacts from my childhood or related to my childhood online are so fragile, and you know, they can just disappear like that. And I really wish there was some way that we could preserve them other than the Wayback Machine, because the Wayback Machine is great, but it's a little bit unreliable when it comes to detailed information as opposed to just, you know, some page. Okay, I'll stop blathering and finish this mission. Stone Act is going to wear out. Marine's going to move. Ares is going to move. I'll let them take care of her. and I will try to do some damage. Yes, we have her paralyzed, but I think it's the best move that Ramza can make because wizards are quite effective in this map because of the way they can exploit their height range, and the fact that they aren't obstructed by buildings in the way that archers are. So they're very good at killing characters up in those high places. Okay, decided to kill that character. It's not what I would have done, but maybe Agrius will just finish off the archer herself, and the computer knows that better than I do. We'll see. Yep. Don't question the AI, unless it's doing something incredibly stupid. It's either you know, kind of clairvoyant and totally able to predict the future, or it's just incredibly stupid and causing you all kinds of trouble. And thankfully, there aren't too many missions in this act where we're going to run into the AI being stupid and that causing us lots of trouble. Deathly Garrison. So I suppose this is something that all the characters here would know, but we're not really aware of at this point in the game, normally. But Bethla Garrison is where the non-10 Knights have their headquarters, and where Goltana has his headquarters. So if the princess had in fact been kidnapped by Goltana, this is presumably where Delita would go with her, because there's no way that the Royal Knights would be able to siege this fort. It's just far too well defended. And we will go there eventually, but not in this act. Quite a while from now until we'll be making it. Yep. So we've cleared out that mission. Not terribly difficult, as I said. And Redford, Deneb, and Norn are kind of disappear from our radar soon enough. Agrius is still a guest character, so we can't use her in our party quite yet. But because these two characters are in our party, we can only deploy 4 units. So we will be able to deploy Ramza, Rad, Alicia, and Lavian. And that will be after I do a good number of hours of grinding. So I will probably be uploading a video right away, because it's going to take me some time to get the characters where I want them to be. But rest assured that more videos are coming. And I apologize if I rambled too much on this video, but I'm still getting over this cold I've had. And my thoughts aren't entirely collected. So, yeah, if you enjoyed it though, please like and subscribe, and I will be uploading another video probably within the next few days.